just a performance issue. All physical contact must lead to sex. You can tell these are all from a male perspective, can you not? But when you think about how it is negotiated, women need the emotional stimulation. And men always look at the physical. So a woman wants the emotional first to lead to the physical, and the guy is the exact opposite. Wants the physical to lead to the emotional. He just doesn't always get there. But for a shared activity, for that closeness that we seek with each other, where it's very intimate, we go about it the wrong way. A woman, like I said, wants the emotional part first. And then she's willing to, once that is satisfied, she'll do anything. The guy wants the physical first. And then, yeah.
Are you saying that after we have sex, you want to cry?
Well, you know, sometimes it's that wonderful that you just cry. But there is definitely an expression and a shared activity. I'll tell you, intimacy, I mean, sex gives you is a one-dimensional thing, but intimacy gives you a lot of things. Men don't like to show that tender side all the time, but men cry too. Men go through stresses and they need the same release that women will release. You guys just release it better than we do. But there are times that at night that your man might need a good hug and a cry. And you guys should like to close the door and do that. But there has to be an environment set that he'll feel comfortable doing that. That he'll be free from being judged or any of that kind of stuff. That's true intimacy that you develop. Now, sometimes we don't get that, we look to others, and that's kind of what leads to the other things. But right now, let me fly through these stereotypes. Sex equals intercourse. These are all, like I said, these are mostly male. Sex requires an erection. Is that true? 2 no's, 3 no's. No, you don't need an erection for sex. What do you need then? If you're not an erection, what do you need? I'm sorry, a physical?
Just physical contact.
Touching?
Yes.
Spanking? G-rated? We're talking about sex. How do you G-rate sex? Okay, for women, sex only requires submission. These are male stereotypes. There are men walking around on this earth that really feel for women, sex only requires submission. In other words, I don't want to hear all your mouth. Just get ready. Let's hurry up with it too. Let's, some men just feel that way because they feel that women are here for them solely. Like they don't have to worry about her side, and this enters into their marriages that are ready to burst and separate because of that one, just that one. Just that one. Because everything is about him and nothing about her. Good sex is a linear progression for increasing excitement, terminating at an orgasm. Is that good sex? I got one no. Number 7, is that good sex? You guys are smiling, nodding, yeah. So, good sex would then be defined. It would be defined with the event that leads to the orgasm, and that's it. That's good sex. No? You guys need to be more praying before you do it, so you can say something different. Is that so? Raise your hand if you think that was right. That's good old-fashioned. No? Nobody believes that now? I changed your mind already? Okay, well, what then is good sex then? Sweating and out of breath? Just being together? Well, you're together now. Is this pleasing? I like those words. What did you say? Oh, okay. That's all? Something else? Make sure the other person's needs are met. Pray first. There you go. All right, Linda. How else do you? Yes, sir.
You're thinking about them the whole time. I mean, before, after, during, whatever. Their needs, their wants, what they want, and the other one's doing the same thing.
So you can't think about like Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie or Halle Berry. Quickly says, I'm not. line. Because in other words, as you build every type of relationship with your spouse on every level, that sexual level, you should be able to do stuff to her that no one could. They don't know her like you know her. And she doesn't, women don't know you like she knows you. But how do you get to that point? It's not just the experience of it. You got to communicate. You actually got to have a sex conversation. And actually sit and talk about it when you're, just like, how do you like that? Or what do you like? Or what would you like tonight? When's the last time your spouse asked, what would you like tonight? Look at these looks on your... We just don't ask that, dude. That's not what... Put that in your repertoire. Yes.
Dinner.
She said it's what for dinner. That doesn't... If you think of the scenario, when we talk about making that, because obviously if it's the exact same every time, the exact same, you don't eat the exact same dinner every time. You don't do everything the exact same every single time, do you? So wouldn't it stand to reason that just as you have a variety of meals in your life, that your sex life would be the same? You come home and take that really good shower, you know what I mean, the really good one. You smell like really good, and you are ready for action. And you create a dance for the little action. And you are saying, honey, how do you like it tonight? You guys should try that. It looks like you guys need to try that. That's homework number 2 then. Okay, so sex should be natural and spontaneous. Yes? Is planned sex bad? Which is better, the planned one or the spontaneous one?
Spontaneous.
Spontaneous. Raise your hand. Spontaneous? Anybody say planned one is best?
Actually, it's all good.
It's all good? Well, I would say they're all healthy. But sometimes planning isn't, it's not a bad thing. It gets actually bad when you have to schedule it. That's the bad part, because it adds unnecessary pressure. It really does. And if your life is so busy where you actually have to schedule it, something's actually wrong. You're not taking enough time for each other, actually, if you have to do that. Okay, in good sex, one should be responsible for one's partner's sexual pleasure. True? Should you have to be responsible for whether or not you should? I got a yes here. Well, but if it's one, in other words, that each person has the responsibility to make sure that the other one is pleased. That's really what it says. Yes, we agree with that. Do we do that all the time? I'm not sure that, the thing I don't like about that statement is the word responsible. Because that means pressure. You got to perform. As opposed to it being this loving, caring, we feel the same about each other type thing.
Which makes number 2 count.
All right, good. It just has to go both, and we should know how to do that. So, these are just stereotypes, and again, these 5 words are going to sort of fix those. Intercourse does not mean sex. There's a question mark there. And that's because intercourse could be violence or an assault, and that's just genitally speaking. It could be business between a prostitute and her client. You see how the word sex has been mulled in the mud. It could be duty, even the loving duty between a man and his woman friend. Any sexual behavior could be seen at times to be something other than sex if we expand our horizon beyond the experimental definition of sexuality. Here's my 5 words that I'm going to explain. Volition, mutuality, arousal, vulnerability, and trust. You need all 5. I'm going to play with these and take words out, and you'll see what the problem is when you do that. Some of these might be assumed. You might assume some of these things,